Have you ever had one of those moments where it feels like everything, your life, your confidence, your career, has just shattered? Yeah, we've all been there. Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful blueprint for putting all those pieces back together, and it's all based on the book Rebuild Yourself. So, let's get into it.
So the book kicks off with this amazing metaphor. Just think about it for a second. If your actual house was falling apart, you'd jump into action, right? You'd fix it. But when our lives fall apart, for some reason, we just freeze. So the big question is, how do you even start rebuilding when you feel completely and utterly broken?
Well, luckily, there's a clear 5-step game plan for this whole journey. First, we're going to talk about acknowledging the cracks. Then, forgiving and resetting your mind. After that, we'll get into rebuilding with small steps, choosing your support system, and finally, my favorite part, becoming the phoenix.
Okay, first up, and let's be real, this is probably the toughest step of them all. You simply cannot fix what you refuse to see. Acknowledging those cracks is the absolute foundation for any real, lasting change.
It's kind of like when you crack your phone screen. We've all done this, right? You tell yourself, oh, it's fine, it's just a little crack. And you never, ever get it fixed. Well, it is the exact same thing with our lives. If you keep ignoring the failure or the heartbreak, that crack just gets bigger and bigger.
So that first moment of acceptance, man, that is everything. Admitting you're broken isn't a sign of weakness. It's the exact opposite. It's the moment you start taking your power back. It's you looking at this situation and saying, okay, this happened, and now I'm the one who's going to fix it.
So once you've faced the damage, what's next? Well, you've got to clear the site. You can't build something new on top of a pile of rubble, right? You have to get rid of all that old debris, the guilt, the blame, all that negativity.
Yeah, the book just nails it with this quote, "We usually think forgiveness is something we give to other people, but you know who the hardest person to forgive is? Ourselves. Holding on to old mistakes literally keeps you trapped, and self-forgiveness, that's the key that unlocks all the energy you're going to need to rebuild."
And here's a really practical way to do that. I know, it's going to feel a little weird at first, but try it. Go look at yourself in the mirror and just say it out loud. I forgive you. It's such a simple act, but you'd be amazed at how freeing it is. It can lift a weight you didn't even know you were carrying.
And all of this, it really just boils down to your mindset. That is your master key. Think of it like this. If you had a personal trainer who just followed you around all day yelling, "You're weak, you can't lift that," you'd never get stronger, would you? Of course not. Your internal voice works the exact same way. That positive mindset is what gives you permission to even start.
Okay, so we've looked at the damage, we've cleared the ground. Now it's time for the action phase. It's time to start laying some bricks. And here's the thing. Rebuilding a life, just like a house, does not happen overnight. It happens one small, deliberate, consistent brick at a time. And the secret here is to start with goals that feel almost too easy. Seriously, you're not trying to build the entire wall in one day. Every one of these small actions, a short walk, a few minutes of meditation, it all builds momentum. It rebuilds your confidence, one tiny brick at a time.
And this right here, this is the whole mantra. We get so caught up thinking that big change requires some huge heroic effort, but it doesn't. It's the small stuff, the things you do day in and day out that actually builds a foundation that's strong enough to last.
Now, you wouldn't try to build a house all by yourself, would you? And you can't rebuild your life alone either. The people you surround yourself with, let's call them your construction crew, they are absolutely crucial for your success.
I mean, just think about that for a second. Of course you wouldn't. You'd fire them on the spot. So why on earth would we surround ourselves with people who do the same thing to our lives? People who use weak cement by constantly bringing up our past and who lay our bricks all crooked with their negativity.
So the takeaway is pretty simple. You have to choose your crew carefully. Find your tribe. You need to surround yourself with people who are going to be a solid support structure, the ones who lift you up and who believe in the person that you are fighting so hard to become.
And that brings us to the final step. And for me, this is the most exciting stage of all, because this isn't just about repairing what was broken. Oh no, this is about creating something brand new and even better from the ashes.
The phoenix is just the perfect metaphor, isn't it? You're not trying to go back to who you were before. You're using that experience, that fire, to be reborn as a stronger, wiser, more powerful version of yourself. This is a full-on upgrade, not just a simple repair job. And what's so cool about this is that you get to consciously define what this new identity looks like. You are in the driver's seat. You get to decide, okay, I'm moving from insecure to confident, from dependent to independent. You are drawing the blueprint for your new self.
Because ultimately, that's the big takeaway from all of this. No one else is holding the plans, the power, and yeah, the responsibility to rebuild, to design, and to create the life you want. It rests entirely with you.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. It's a really powerful question. If you could pick up the tools right now, today, and start rebuilding just one single part of your life, where would you start? What would that first brick be? Because that choice is all yours.